So finally ready for another unboxing. We're gonna be doing a turbo blanket, PTP turbo blanket. So we'll come across over here and show you what we already wrapped. We already finally got to use some of this DEI. I showed it in a clip before. I didn't want to let you see us using like 10,000 zip ties. So we'll show you what we did on the previous spot. But I have some springs here. I don't know how to use them yet, but I'm gonna figure them out before I put it on, and then we'll go underneath. I'll wrap the turbo, and then we'll go underneath and use a. If we don't use this, then we'll use the twine, and you know we'll use something. But actually, I have two turbo blankets. I don't know why I have two, but I also have a Faction Fab one. I'm gonna go with the PTP. I'll use this one for the Silver STi later on. But now that we got this open, this is also the lava. So everything is lava on this car. Lava, lava, lava. Hopefully we'll get some, what is it called? Like tags of lava. So when the kids go and search it, they can watch our videos so we can get some views. Okay, so yeah, here's the PTP turbo blanket. Also for the STi EJ. So let's figure out how we're gonna do this. I really don't want to touch it because I don't know what material it is. It's not safe for your lungs or something, or your face or your skin. So I'll try to be as careful as I can. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to figure out how it goes wrapped. If I'm not mistaken, it's gonna go like this, right? And then we'll try to figure out how we're gonna use these springs. That's how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna run them like this and then scoop them and hook them up on the other side. So, all right, let's go put this on. All right, here's the lava, the PTP. You should be able to read it like this. Hopefully you can see it. So I know it's gonna be kind of a pain because I have to run it underneath this wastegate bracket here. And then I'm gonna have to run it through here. Something like this. Should have probably worn some gloves. Okay, then we're gonna run it through here, underneath this heat shield bracket that we finally got to put on. And then we're gonna do the excessive, and we're probably gonna put a heat shield on top of this anyway. So I want to make sure that we get as much heat reduction into the intake as possible because, like I've mentioned 10,000 times before, we live in a hot area. I'll show a clip hopefully in this video where I ran this same car without the heat shield, without the heat wrap, without the turbo blanket, basically without anything. And I ran the temperature, and I think it was like, man, it was like ridiculous. I ran the temperature of the what's it called, the intercooler, and then the downpipe and the actual turbo itself, and we got some ridiculous temps. So I've been driving around the Blue STi for maybe 10-15 minutes. Went to go run some errands in it. It's kind of weird. The last day that I drove it, it actually got really hot. It overheated. Definitely not what I wanted. The temperature I think was reading like at 250 degrees from the coolant temperature. So I am gonna do some upgrades for cooling, like kind of like we did on the Silver STi. I'm kind of thinking about doing radiator hoses, new thermostats, a new radiator. I mean, considering the car is about like 17 years old or 16 years old, I figured it's about time that we make some major upgrades for cooling. The car's running fine. It feels good. Coolant, I saw as high about 205, 206, which is pretty high for my taste. My Silver STi usually runs, you know, about 180 with a high of maybe like 194, 195, even when I'm messing around. The Blue STi, I was not messing around in any kind of shape or form, but it definitely got hot considering, I mean, it's like 83 degrees outside, 84 degrees outside. So I'm gonna walk up to it right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a temperature check of the intercooler, the top mount intercooler, because what we're gonna end up doing is actually, like we showed you in a previous video, I'll link it up somewhere up top. When we got the Blue STi back, the downpipe did not have a heat shield. It didn't have any kind of protection going up. So I actually just ran the car. It's been about 3 minutes since I've been outside the car. And I'm gonna go run the temperature gauge on the intercooler, and then we'll kind of go from there. So watch out. I got my little temperature gun here. Hopefully it'll read it pretty good. I think we used this the last time. I parked the car in the shade, so there shouldn't be much heat right now. Let's check it out. So like I mentioned before, the downpipe has no kind of protection around it, like the way the OEM one has. The OEM one has a bunch of different heat shields, heat protectives all the way around. But as you can see here, basically heat goes up, you know, so it basically hits the intercooler right here. So I'm gonna kind of run this temperature to see what it looks like right now. About 156, 157 degrees. That's pretty hot. I mean, considering that the turbo is right there. Let's see how the turbo is going right now. 380. Yeah, it's pretty freaking hot, as you tell me. And like I said, it's about 84 degrees outside right now. But what I'm basically trying to do is get the best intake temperature here. I know that intake temperature is measured somewhere else, but by the time it runs through here, I know this STi has the water sprayer, water cooler here, but I do want to get this as cool as possible. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna end up wrapping the downpipe. We're gonna turbo blanket the turbo, and then we're gonna heat shield it and rerun the temperature and see how much of a difference it makes coming up here. So let's see what the temperature is on the downpipe. Yeah, that's pretty freaking hot. So we might even heat wrap this AC line here just to make sure that it doesn't get too much heat. But yeah, we'll be back and I'll come and run the same test again. We can do it maybe just with a wrap and then just with the turbo blanket and then with the heat shield and kind of go from there. But now you saw what the temperatures were. Let's see how cool we can get it. So here we go. Now we got the turbo blanket on, and let me just go run underneath and figure out how I'm gonna wrap it. I'm underneath the car. You can see right there is David. What's up, David? There is a spring here and a spring there. I hooked them up with each other, then a spring there and a spring there. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it, but with the given time and space that I have, it's working. So that's what we're gonna go with. So it's holding the turbo blanket in place. All the bolts have been tightened. The downpipe has been wrapped, and turbo blanket has been put on. The heat shield bracket has been put on. So now it's just a matter of time of putting on the heat shield. So let me go to the top. See what it looks like. Woo! Turbo blanket installed, wrap installed, and a little extra gold. It's looking good, it's looking good. So now I'm just gonna put on this heat shield here, probably the AOS here. We're still waiting for parts here, so we put all the rest of the stuff on, but it's looking good so far.